Okay, hello everyone. I wanted to do an installation video. I'm going to do two installation videos, one for the i3 version since it is a little different. It has the in-curses windows, and I'm also going to do a regular installation video of the Compiz, Mio Compiz. That way it'll give people the opportunity to see both. Now what I'm using here, this is the very first computer that I bought for our family. It's an old Sony Vaio. As you can see here, it has less than 1 gigabyte of RAM, and I'm pushing it. Now always remember when you're running live from a USB or whatever, your memory usage is going to be higher. Right now I'm running live. I just installed Simple Screen Recorder, and I'm running Simple Screen Recorder. So don't let that RAM usage there worry you. I think when I first booted, after I did an installation of this, the 32-bit, that's what this is, the 32-bit version, it was only using like 109 megabytes of RAM, so it's lightweight. Now real quickly, since this is the i3 version, I wanted to show a couple of things before I start the installation. If you read this welcome screen, it'll say some of the windows. If you click on these buttons down here, some of those windows are going to open up behind this welcome screen. So let me just show that and show you what you can do. I'll just click on the live user notes, and as you see, it opened up behind the screen. Now you have two options. You can move this around, to read the notes, or you can put your mouse on this welcome screen or on the live user notes, whichever one, and send it to a different workspace. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send the live user notes to a different workspace, and the way you know which one you're sending, if you see up here at the top, that bar is blue, and this one is now blue, the other one turns dark gray. Whichever one is blue is the active window. So I'm going to do Alt-Shift-2, and then I will switch to Workspace 2. I just sent it to Workspace 2, and there's the live user notes. Alright, so that's basically how that would work. So let's go over a couple of other things. If you need to change the keyboard layout, you can do it right here. Click on that, and it'll open up the live keyboard layout chooser, and just scroll through and choose the one you need, and click on it and click OK, and it'll temporarily adopt that keyboard layout. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and open the network connections. I'm actually connected with an Ethernet right now, because sometimes on this computer internet wireless is hit or miss. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on Wi-Fi right here on the main status page, right here where it says Wi-Fi. Click on it where it says off, and we'll see if it's going to pick up my Wi-Fi. And it's not going to. It would have shown up down here. Yay, my battery's fully charged. Okay, like I said, this computer, sometimes it's hit or miss whether it's going to actually pick up the Wi-Fi. But that's what you would do. You'd click on here. That would turn it on, and it should show your Wi-Fi down here. Then you come over here to wireless, and you would click on the Wi-Fi connection you want to connect to. That would be listed here. And then you would hit this connect button, and then you would enter in your password and hit OK, and then it should connect. Okay, let's just go ahead. I don't want to spend any more time. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Well, I'll go ahead and click the install button. You can also install through D menu. I just open D menu here at the top, do install, and you see install MiyoLinux is highlighted. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just showing the different methods you could actually use to get to the installer. Or you can use P menu. I'll open that up and show here in the system category is the install MiyoLinux. And you can also bring back up the welcome screen again if you need to. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, like this says, do not close this terminal window at all during the installation process. Alright, I'm going to hit continue. I'm going to hit continue. It's BIOS. And here are the options for you to choose. I'm just going to keep everything like it is. I'm not going to add any, I'm not going to have a separate home partition because I'm going to do some, I'm going to make some changes to my hard drive for my other installation video. Alright, so I'm just going to keep all these defaults right now. Alright, now we have two small windows here. This one is showing the partitions on my hard drive. Right now I only have two partitions, SDA1, which is my swap partition, and SDA2, which is the root partition. And if you notice, it's also showing SDB. That's the USB that I'm running from. You can actually install this onto a USB, but that's for another time. So here I'm going to run gparted because I'm going to partition my I'm going to repartition it so that I can do the other installation video on this computer also. So I'm going to run gparted. If you want to leave this open under normal circumstances, you can. I'm going to go ahead and close it because I don't need it. Alright, run gparted. Alright, as you see, I only have one small swap partition and one large root partition. I'm going to delete both of those, and I'm going to set this up so that I can dual boot the two different operating systems. Alright, I need a new partition, and I want it to be 2000. Hit enter, and I want that to be my swap. Add another new partition. Let's see, I have 184 gigabytes. That's roughly 90,000. Okay. I'm doing this in my head, so bear with me. 90,000. Whoops, that's 900. Oh dear. Alright. Now I'm going to turn this one into an extended partition. And within that extended partition, I will put my other swap and my other root partition. 2000 Linux swap, new extension 4. Okay, and apply. I would have done all this before just to save a little time, but I thought it might possibly help some people to see how to do that. And I'm not good at talking while things are going on like this. So bear with me. We're waiting on it to finish. It shouldn't take much longer. When I was talking earlier about my Wi-Fi being hit or miss, a couple of years ago, okay, everything's completed, close, let this finish down here. A couple of years ago I replaced the hard drive in this computer, and if you've never taken a Sony Vaio apart, it is a pain. And I think I know I messed the touchpad up, and I probably did something to the wireless when I was changing out that hard drive. I had to take the whole computer completely apart just to change the hard drive out. Alright, for this one I'm going to put this on the MBR, the master boot record. In the next video, when I show the installation of the Compiz version, I'll do it on a partition, just to show the different ways. Okay, so I'm going to choose MBR, because whichever one you choose, there is a slight difference on one of the screens that come up in a little bit. Okay, MBR. And choose the SDA. That's the one. You know what, when I I didn't look to see what my partitions were designated as. I'm sure I'm going on SDA. Alright, I have SDA 1, SDA 2, SDA 3, which is probably the extended partition, 5 and 6. So I want the installation. I know I put the swap partition first, so I'm going to choose SDA 2. That was the root partition. Okay, so click on that and hit OK. I want it to be ext4. You can choose those, but I always go ext4. Choose a partition for swap. It's either going to be SDA1 or SDA5. I'm going to go 1. 5 is in that extended partition. Alright, everything's, give you a quick rundown of everything it's going to do. Blah blah blah. Proceed with the installation. Alright, here are the ncurses windows. I had to do this for the i3 version. You use your arrow keys to move around here. I want to go in the US, so I'm going to move it to highlight US and hit enter on my computer. Hit the enter key. Again, using my arrow keys, I'm going to go down and choose Eastern for the time zone and hit enter on the keyboard. Alright, now I know that the correct locale is already chosen, but I want to show it just to show what you would need to do. There it is. See that little asterisk right there by English US? If you were going to mark a different one, you might want to hit your space bar here and remove that one. That's how you mark things. If you want to choose a different one, find the one you need and hit your space bar to mark it. Alright? Space bar will mark and unmark. If you can see that asterisk appearing and disappearing, I'm pressing the space bar. Alright, that's the one I want, English US UTF-8, and hit enter. Alright, again, highlight the one you want. That's the one I want for my correct locale. Hit enter. And now we choose our keyboard layout, and what I do here, I just hit enter on every screen and just take the defaults. Enter, enter, Enter. Enter. Alright, do you want it to... That can be handy, but for this I'm just going to say no, enter. Alright, now here it's asking you, do you want to proceed? Hit Y, the Y key for yes, and enter. And it will start installing. And depending on how long this takes, it doesn't take long at all, but just to cut down on some time, I might edit the video before I put it up on YouTube, just to cut some of this out. But for now, I'm just going to let the whole thing go. And it'll start going here in just a moment. It'll start flying through this terminal. Here we go. Okay, now we're here to this screen, and this is where we install the bootloader. Now, if you recall, I installed this to the MBR, and that's where the difference is on this screen here. When you install to the MBR, you have this button here called Install Bootloader. If I chose to install grub to a partition, that button wouldn't be here, and I would just hit Continue. However, since I did put it on the MBR, I'm going to click on Install Bootloader. And now we enter, this is where you, that first rectangle here, that's where you enter your host name. Change that to whatever you want. I'm going to leave it like it is. Enter your username. And the second one, that first one, the first username here, that needs to be all lowercase letters. Second one can be have uppercase. And I'm going to permit sudo for the new user and keep the root account. Use sudo as default for the new user and disable the root account, or use sudo only for shutdown and keep root account. I'm going to use the first option. And enter the new root password. Enter it again. I just hit enter on my keyboard. I didn't have to click OK. This is the user password. And installation should be finished. And it is. So click OK, and the way you close out this terminal here, Alt-Shift-Q for quit, and the installation is finished. And you can reboot into the system. So I hope that helps some people. You guys have a great day. Thanks.